You guys painted the gate and everything. This is fancy. You guys, hey man.
Put this on
Hey
film,
man.
Oh!
Hey, I've been trying to find you. Where you been hiding?
How you doing?
What's up?
What's going on? How
You gonna say hi? Don't look down, say hi. You know.
What's up? Man, right?
So are you ready to say Maurice Jones-Drew, retired NFL player?
Oh yeah, I've been ready to say that for a long time.
Mentally? I mean, physically I can imagine, but
no,
mentally?
I think physically it was the toughest part because I can still play. You know, I can still go out there and run and catch the ball and do a bunch of things. Mentally, I was just kind of, I felt I did what I had to do. And you always want to come out healthy. You know, everyone talks about Father Time and how he forces you. I wanted to get out before he came knocking a little bit. And granted, I mean, I did lose a little bit, but I still feel like I can go out there and make plays. And I thought I showed that early last year. And just now it's just kind of like, I sacrificed so much for my kids and all those different things time for me now to kind of give back to them, be dad a little bit, and hang out and, you know, go to some Pop Warner games and stuff like that I've missed. So this is nice.
Hand off, Drew takes it late, now finds right. He's got it! He's sprayed to the 20, to the 15-10. There he goes to the 5, carrying a defender into the end zone. Maurice Jones-Drew, touchdown.
81 career touchdowns. I mean, we look at you. Perfect that you're back here on draft weekend, you know, like you arrived. Is there one that stands out? Is there a moment on this field that stands out that you say that was my moment?
You know what, to be honest with you, the only moment I could think of, because it impacted my family so much, we were playing the Colts on a Thursday night game, and it was my son's first game, and Scobie kicked a 59-yarder. And the
2010.
Right, and the running joke about the whole thing was Deuce is a bigger fan of Scobie than he was me. And so, you know, Scobie impacted my family that way, and like, literally from that point on, Deuce has been like the biggest Scobie. So Scobie does golf. I have video of him golfing. He plays soccer, So I think that was probably my biggest moment because it was something that for us to beat the Colts here at that time, we were kind of getting on a run that time. And it was one of those years where things were starting to click a little early for us. And like I said, he impacted a lot of people. He didn't know as much. Well, he knew, a lot of other guys didn't know, but it was nice.
Let me give you two. Your rookie year, that end zone opening kickoff for the Colts game, second half,
yeah.
right? You had 136 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. You take it back, you blow it out. Jags run for 375 day.
Yeah,
man.
That was a great day too. I think that was kind of showed that all the stuff we put in with our running game with our running back coach Kennedy Poland, Mike Tice, Andy Heck, and obviously just everyone that called those plays. I mean, it was a good game. Our offensive line did a heck of a job, and those guys deserve that. I mean, again, it's easy for you to run when you're not getting touched to the second level. I tell people that all the time. And so they did a great job that game and throughout my career.
When people ask me about Maurice Jones-Drew, the thing that stands out to me so strongly is the respect that you had for Fred Taylor. I mean, you came in here as a second-round pick, but you came in here with a lot of fanfare. And here's Fred getting towards the end of his career, and you let Fred be center stage. Why? What was it about Fred? What was it about your relationship that the respect was so strong?
Well, I think anytime you have a Hall of Famer in front of you, you know, a lot of guys come in, they want to be the man right away. I wanted to sit back and learn. I knew I didn't know anything about football. I mean, I knew about the college game, but the pro game is so different. You can see that now, how guys fizzle in and out. You know, you get a couple receivers here, and they don't have a great second year. They have a really good first, second year, then have a great third year. For me, I wanted to be consistent all the way through. And to come here and learn from a guy like Fred and kind of pick his brain every day, that's all I wanted to do. And also, you know, it was still his team. Just because I got drafted didn't mean anything. I mean, my agent would always tell me there's second rounders that's been cut. So you got to go in there with the right mindset and just be willing to accept the criticism and the coaching. And even though Kennedy Poland was a great running back coach, Fred was the person that coached me more on the field just because there was things that he would see that I didn't see, or in practice he would tell me to look for this and those type of things. And our relationship just grew from there, where it was just kind of a, you know, he would tell me something that wasn't wrong. You know, you hear these stories, these horror stories about players telling other players, "I'll do this," and it's completely wrong. Fred wasn't like that. He kind of was open to everything. You know, if you see this, do that. And I would do it in high school. I'd be like, "Oh, okay." You know, and it's kind of like a, you know, on any relationship, you have to go out there with a leap of faith. And we both did that, and it was great.
Does your name go outside his out there? And is there enough room for Maurice Jones-Drew, or would Mojo or MJD be good enough for you? But, I mean, you can envision the spot up there. It's there for you. 81 career touchdowns, franchise record.
I think there's a couple other guys that need to go in front of me. You know, I think Brad Meester's one, a guy that my whole career, to play the way he played. I played 9 years, so it was fun. But you have a guy that plays 16 and what he did for the organization, I think that's awesome. I think you have to put Keenan McCardell and Jimmy Smith in there. There's a lot of guys.
There's a lot of space up there, though.
There is.
You may just have to settle for 3 letters, MJD.
That's fine.
Or 4, Mojo. But everyone will know who that is.
I appreciate it. No, like I said, I think when that time comes, I'll be excited. But there's a lot of guys that need to go before me, done more than I have. So
always the humility.
That's just how it is. When you tell the truth, you got to tell the truth. 1, 2, 3. There it is. Good job.
You started your day at Wolfson Children's Hospital with the room that you put in there. As a pro football player, why did you put so much of your heart into the community? What was it beyond just the fact that people were looking for you?
I think, like I said, again, I came in at 20, so there were so many things that I could have, that I did that I shouldn't have done, or so many, and people would just, instead of, I guess, getting in trouble for it, they use it as learning lessons. And so it was kind of like it takes a village to raise a child. And that's how I felt about Jacksonville. When I started having my own kids, the way that hospital, Wolfson's, took care of my kids, from my daughter being premature and allowing me to kind of sleep in the NICU with her in a certain room, for when my son got bit by a spider, had MRSA on his face, those type of things where it was no hesitation. They take when my mother got sick and she was in Atlanta and I'm calling doctors here to figure out what's wrong. Those are the things that I think people don't understand. And so it was pretty much nothing for me to go, hey, listen, if this is what you guys want, I can do that, because of what they did for me and my family. And, my wife was sick one night. I think she woke up like 3 in the morning with a fever of 105 or something, and called our trainer, Mike Ryan. He called down, then we were right in right away. So the way they took care of me, and I know the way they take care of everybody else's family here, we should always want to do something great for that hospital. And to see all the kids in there and everybody and the parents and those things, and to be able to go through those things with them, I guess that's the least I could do. I wish I could do more.
You closed the football chapter, at least to some degree.
Right.
What's the next book that we open up with Maurice Jones-Drew?
Right now I'm doing hopefully broadcasting. I started the draft, NFL Network and SiriusXM. Still working on the deal with the NFL, so we'll see how it goes. And I'm gonna enjoy that and take my time. Still finishing school, so it's kind of holding me back from a lot of other things. But maybe one day try to get back to the game and coach. You never know. I think our game of football it should be sacred, should be special. When you look at baseball, you look at basketball, all their coaches have played at some level. I think football is the only sport where you have coaches that have never played the game that are coaching these kids, and you're wondering why these kids are getting hurt at such a young age. So when I have my kids out there, I try to stand back and be a fan for it as long as I can until I'm needed to come in. And so I think that's kind of one of my callings, to go back and give back to kids like someone gave to me. That's kind of my deal.
Just standing here listening, remembering all the times you heard Maurice Jones-Drew.
Yeah.
It was a special relationship.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Have it and remember it with you today.
Thank you.